The committee will come to order. I first want to say congratulations, Ambassador Greer, on your confirmation.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thanks for being here. USMCA did an incredible job.
So first, was this an oversight, or is the president trying to reinvigorate trade with Russia?
So there's no effort to reinvigorate trade with Russia. Congress did the right thing a couple of years ago and revoked permanent normal trade relations with Russia, so put it in the bad category. And so Belarus, Russia, North Korea, they already have their own high tariffs already in a category that Congress has established.
So it doesn't matter. They're not part of this
Well,
system.
it does matter. They already have these high tariffs. They don't have permanent normal trade relations. We have normal trade relations with these others. And I think if there's
so
trade with
why are
Russia,
the penalties that much more, why are the tariffs that much more higher on other country and allies than they are in Russia? Because we're already doing enough with Russia?
No, it's because in the sanctions law, there's always an exclusion for agricultural products, and I think that's the only type of trade we really have with Russia. But all of those folks, they're sanctioned, they're subject to embargoes of one type or another. Congress revoked permanent normal trade relations, and that's certainly the right answer for those folks. We should not have normal trade relations with those countries.
It does increase, you will add additional tariffs.
Well, it's the president's choice, but I'll advise him, and I'll say this is affecting the trade deficit.
We're working with you on USMCA
You do. Are you going to bring that to Congress for a vote?
We'll do what the law requires. Some of it's consultation, some requires a vote, so we'll follow the law on that front. But the countries are coming, right? If they were hesitant, they wouldn't be knocking down
all the work you put in on USMCA. And happy.
And those are actually many of the countries that are coming to us and saying, we're willing to take down our tariffs. Vietnam unilaterally decided to reduce its tariffs on apples, cherries, certain corn products, ethanol, et cetera. So we're already seeing the kind of movement we would expect, and that's something that I think is an important message to our farmers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Ambassador.
And so I think what we're going to see in the near term, we're going to see a handful of partners who open their markets more to us, and it makes it much easier and much more competitive economically to have manufacturing here, to grow products here, to process them here, and export them to the rest of the world.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ambassador, it's good to see you in a different capacity.
In the near term, there is an opportunity for these countries, if they want to have more reciprocal trade, to bring down their differential tariffs, bring down their non-tariff.
I'm going to run out of time.
Mr. Ambassador, you, your predecessor, Bob Lighthizer, we need to go back to what we did, Mr. Ambassador, with USMCA, with a real solid negotiation that led to a desirable outcome.
Ambassador, for availing yourself here today on such important matters. Ambassador Greer, could you elaborate on your engagement with these countries, Kenya and UK?
Over the past month, I've had a number of conversations with my counterpart in the United Kingdom. We've talked about non-tariff barriers in the UK. We've talked about ways to collaborate on technology. We've met frequently in person. We've had phone calls. We've had virtual meetings, and we've discussed how to move the relationship forward on an economic basis. I've certainly expressed my concern that UK has barriers, especially in the ag space, that are very important for us. So that's been made clear to them. But those discussions are on a good footing. With Kenya, I also had my counterpart, the trade minister from Kenya, in town last week, and we sat down in my office and we had a good talk, and he said that he wanted to engage with the United States. He understands our concerns, but he also understands the need to move forward. It was a very fruitful conversation. I look forward to speaking with him again.
Yes or no, the Trump tariffs will soon be levied on pharmaceuticals from abroad?
I'd like to discuss that in more detail with you, sir.
Is that true or not?
Well, the president, he wants to get manufacturing production back here, and so he's going to conduct an investigation to see what's appropriate in terms of tariffs.
So he hasn't decided to impose them as he said he would last night at the Republican fundraiser?
He said that he will impose them. Now what the extent of that is subject to an investigation.
Reclaiming my time.
I believe in our great country.